Old traveller, do you know what path this is that you walk? This is an old path, one that hasn't been used in many years. It leads to the Goyar forest, the most ancient forest in half the world. You won't find anything this way but trees. I am the guardian spirit of the forest. Unless you have good cause to journey this way, I insist that you turn back. No, I don't mean to say that entry to the forest is forbidden. I don't bar visitors from the forest, if only because I know you humans are drawn to that which is forbidden to you. But humans also have a tendency to cause problems, and so it's my duty as a guardian to ask you to turn away. From your apparel, I can see that you hail from the southern mountains, and, if I'm not mistaken, you're in the middle of I believe it was called, a great work. Your people still have that tradition, do they not? Where a young adult sets out to do something important to prove themselves. I wonder if perhaps you intend to reach the Eastern Peninsula. Many of your people travel there for their great work, as I recall. It is a dangerous place with many people in need. A wrong turn on the path to the peninsula could have led you here. I'm afraid that you'll find no excitement here. The forest is your destination. What is your business there? Oh, well then, that is a different matter entirely. It's been decades since someone has attended to the shrines of the forest. Are you certain that's what you wish to do for your great work? I'm not certain if your elders would agree that it's significant enough. Well, if it's already been approved, then you are welcome in me forest. I will accompany you the rest of the way into the forest. Ah, yes. Well, I hope you didn't take that statement personally. I'm sure even you must agree that humans do stir up trouble. But when it comes to the shrines, I'm comfortable with that small risk. Humans used to visit the Goyar forest frequently to pray at the shrines. A forest as ancient as this one is a refuge for many old gods. It was always good for the forest. The gods bless it with protection and fertility, and human worshippers kept the gods engaged with the world. It's a shame that humans don't come here anymore. Worship of the old gods seems to have fallen out of style with you, and so the gods have all fallen asleep. The forest still benefits from their presence, but not as it once did. Unfortunately, I doubt fixing up the shrines will be enough to wake them, or to attract new worshippers, but your efforts are appreciated nonetheless. If nothing else, seeing them renewed will be a pleasant reminder of the old days. How has your journey treated you? Many of your people travel farther than this for their great work, but they usually use more well-travelled roads. You must have walked many old forgotten paths to get here. It's not an easy trip by any measure. In that case, you must be as unyielding and hardy as the trees that surround us. Those are traits that will serve you well. The first shrine isn't far from here. It's one of the larger ones, having been quite popular due to being the first one that most will pass by. I'm afraid it won't be an easy one to start on, but none of them will be a simple matter to refurbish. I'll help you as I'm able, but spirits like me tend to only have a limited ability to interact with the physical world. I do have some influence over the local wildlife, so you can expect some aid from them. Oh, you must understand, which isn't your fault, truthfully. In your language, the word spirit refers both to the souls of the departed and, well, what I am. I've never been alive, as you would think of it. Guardian spirits like me are formed in places where many things have lived and died over many, many years. When a living thing dies, its soul leaves this plane of existence, but it leaves some residue behind. When enough of that residue collects together, a guardian spirit is created. Forests like this one often have a guardian spirit because of their age, and the sheer number of living things therein. Ancient cities often have a guardian spirit as well. In rare cases, great battlefields can create one, but guardian spirits made that way are dangerous. Here's the first shrine. Only a few of them have this large of a structure. Most of them are smaller than you. Creating such a large pillar out of stacked stones is meant to symbolise how many small lives come together to form a greater whole, just like a forest. As you can see, the largest issue here is the missing stones, especially those near the base. The top is gone, and the entire shrine was close to collapsing before you came along. The stones were all chosen very carefully in order to create a regular shape. It would be quite the undertaking for you to find stones to replace the missing ones. Fortunately, I've already taken care of that. I've hoped for a long time that somebody would come to repair the shrines. It wouldn't be my place to rebuild them. These shrines are meant to be maintained by human hands, but I have collected the necessary stones to repair them, so you won't need to search them out. But the shrine is more than just a structure. This entire clearing is part of it. The overgrowth needs to be cleared, and the carved statues need to be set back in their places, and the paths through it need to be dug up again. I'm afraid you have your work cut out for you. Still, it's not the most difficult task you could have chosen for your great work. It's a very old tradition, old enough that I still remember stories back from when these shrines were in use. There was one human in particular, whose family was closely connected with the forest and the shrines. He was born deaf, and so those around him expected little from him. He was eager to prove that he could do great things, and so he chose an incredible act for his great work. Nothing less than the retrieval of his people's long-lost treasure. He wasn't underestimated after that. I'm not surprised that you've heard of him. I imagine that his exploits are often recounted. Truly? Well, if he is your ancestor, then that means you're part of the same bloodline that holds a connection to the forest. Is that why you chose this as your great work? In that case, I'm truly touched to have a member of your family here again. The importance of the Goyar forest has been largely forgotten, but your great work is great indeed. You're reviving your bloodline's ancient traditions and restoring places of great historical importance. I cannot properly express how grateful I am that you're here. Before you begin your work, I'd like to offer you a boon. It's a blessing that guardian spirits can provide. I can't give them out freely, only once every few decades, but I believe you're more than worthy of it. In that case, I will proceed. May you henceforth be remembered as a guardian of sacred places. May you find safety among the trees whenever you need it, and may you find favour in the sight of the old gods. This boon I bestow on you with all the power that I possess, that you may use it to do many great things. I will advise you to remember the words that I have spoken. Even I don't fully comprehend their meaning, but they will help you to understand what gifts this boon grants you. Come with me. There's no need to start your work today, after you've spent so long on the road. I'll show you where you can take refuge during your stay in the forest.